Okay, so I've had an itch to do a tutorial on grappling. Well, I guess it's not really a tutorial because this is my first time doing it, so it's going to be a learning experience for me. So I'll be using my medieval character to do this. So let's open them up. What I'm basically going to do is I'm going to use his hand as sort of like a ghost hand. So I'm basically copying like what's done in Darksiders, where here's the character here, and then he shoots out a grappling sort of like, it's like a spirit sort of thing. It's called the Death Grip, and you can't really, it's probably really hard to see, but here it's like a hand, like there's the icon, but the hand sort of like grabs onto like, it could either be like architectural like elements where you can like jump on to parts of the architecture, or he can like use it to like grab objects or like grab like parts of like really huge bosses. You can also grab smaller enemies to like bring the enemies closer to him before he slashes them. But there's not a whole lot of good images here, but basically you can sort of see he's got like a glowing hand, and that's sort of like what I want to do. But first I need to model it up. So first I'm going to basically take this and I'm going to first go Alt-P, clear parent. I'm going to delete the armature. I can delete pretty much everything else. I don't need the eyeball, I don't need the teeth. Get rid of the beard. And all I'm doing is I'm going to grab all this geometry, and I'm going to delete it. I'm just keeping the hand. So I'll start by rotating it. Apply rotation. That way I get 0, 0, 0 on the rotation. And I'm just going to, in the edit mode, I'm going to bring everything, I guess, close to the pivot. Because this is a ghost hand, I won't be needing like this, I guess this, I don't know what you call it, like it's like cloth or whatever. So I'm just going to delete the texture. I'm going to go into edit mode, and I'm going to delete all those edges that like make it stick out. Let's go here. So I'm just going to get rid of like all these like loops that like make that raise like the edge of the cloth. fingers too. Okay, so it's just the fingers. And I'm going to quickly just going to think how I'm going to add the seams. Okay, I'm just going to give this a quick save. Let's call this F grip model. And I'm going to re-import the FBX of the main character, just for the sake of like giving a sense of scale. So FBX. Okay. So I'm thinking back here. Obviously this has to be bigger because somehow the transform's up there. I'm going to bring the transform set origin to 3D cursor. And I want this to be a little bit bigger than his actual hand. Like that. And I'm also trying to think where I want to keep the pivot. I guess that doesn't really matter. So I'm going to make this, for this video, I'm going to make it so that he's grabbing onto a ledge. So I'll make it so that the corner, just say if this is the ledge, the y-axis and the z-axis, then that 0 will be like the edge, and then I'll basically place his hand exactly at that corner, so that'll make it easy for me to place it. I think that's a good size. So all I need to do is add bones now. So I'm gonna add. I don't need this anymore, so I'm just gonna. Oops, what's going on? Okay. Add furniture. Okay. Has to be smaller. So I'm going to go into edit mode. Let's bring this down. Actually, that's an awkward place to have this, but let's make it really small. Maybe I'll just put it down here, make it like this. And that'll just be the root, so I'll create another bone. And this one can be forearm. Wrist, and let's copy and paste these. Oops. This one here. I know it's kind of hard to see, but this is going to be so fast and so far away from the character, it's not going to have to be like super accurate, so. I wonder what this is. Why is there... That was strange. Okay, actually, I'm going to name this real quick so I don't forget. Death grip armature. Grab all these. Grab this. Control P connected. Oops, no, wrong one. Control P. Keep offset. And we'll do it for this one too. I'll get rid of this bone. And that one already has the connection there. There's like a thing, broken line. So I'll add bone. this one also. Okay, I'm gonna go and name all these now. So can't forget. Oh, actually, I have to select this and parent it to the root, and then I'll start naming these. First, so I've named all the bones. Now I'm going to, I probably should do the scenes real quick. So I like to keep it really simple. So first I'm going to create loops from the fingers. I'm going to separate the fingers from the rest of the hand. And I'll do it for all these other fingers too. The UVs later. Just want to have everything upright, and I want to have it so that I can remember it's, I believe it's, well, I thought it was in order, but it's not. That's okay, everything's upright. Just going to go ahead and export this. I'll make it 2000 by 2000 because it's comparable in size to the player. And depth and grip, UV layout, and I'll worry about the texture later. First I'll save this as save that first, and then I'm going to go ahead and rig this. So I'm going to select the hand and then the armature, and then I'm going to press Control P with empty groups. So if you've seen my previous videos, you probably already know that I don't like painting weights. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to assign the bones to vertices. So for example, these vertices here will be affected by the forearm, and anything after that will be the wrist. So let's go here, make sure I have all these so all these here are, it remembers all the bones from the character, which I've deleted, but I'm going to ignore those, and I'm going to go to the very bottom, and these are the ones that I just created. So forearm, assign. So all these vertices are assigned to the forearm, and I'm going to continue all that for all the other bones and all the other vertices. So all the painted weights are all done. So I'm just going to go and I'm going to make sure that everything's working right. So first I need to check, I'm in pose mode now, so first I need to check everything moves with the root. And then everything but the root should be moving with the forearm. So all that's good. I grab the wrist. Looks fine. It's okay. And then finally the thumb. Okay, that looks fine. So all I gotta do now is I'm gonna paint weights. So I'm gonna first I'll save this. And I'm gonna open up my photo editing program, GIMP. The GIMP open, I'm gonna open up my UV layout. And I want to keep this really simple. I'm just going to give it a just skin. So if I go back to the death grip from Darksiders, I don't know if you can really see it, it's like really small. but it's got a thing called the Fresnel, so it's like it's only like rendering the edges of the hand. So that's what I'm gonna try and do. But for now, I'm just gonna give it a basic skin texture, and then I'm going to manipulate it in Unity. So I'm just going to take the skin texture. This one's got a lot of detail, so that means it's like it's pretty close up with the skin. So I'm just gonna copy and paste it right on top. Oops, I don't need that layer. Let me try this again. Copy. Okay, so size this down. And I'm going to take the stamp tool and just going to paint this whole thing this color. Okay, so as you can see, I made it a green color because I want in Darksiders this color was purple, but I think for this one, I think green matches the character more than purple, so I'm going to make it green. I didn't have to use the skin because it's going to be like so fast and so far away from the character that you're not going to see the texture, but I don't know, I just extra added detail that I think is, I don't know, it's just better, just feel better about it. Another thing that I did was I added this fade here. Yeah, it's just simply because I don't want the sharp line. I want it to I want it to be the hand, and I want it to fade away, almost like a ghosty, like a ghost hand sort of. So I'm just gonna export this as Death Grip color PNG. See it as color. Okay. So I'm just going to quickly apply this to the hand. Name it Death Grip underscore mats. Use image texture. And right now it's kind of ugly, but after I treat it, I'm gonna add like when I treat it in Unity, it should look better because it's gonna have like an emissive. So this has an emissive on it, so it's got this brightness, And also I'm going to add the Fresnel, so it's only the on the edges the color's going to be more bright and like it's going to be darker in the middle. So right now this is just like the base color, and obviously the fade is going to look better too. Okay, I'm not going to worry about that right now. So for now, I'm going to save this first, and this will be the default pose. So I'll just go export. I'll export it as the default pose. And I'll save the Blender file as the same name. Default pose. And I'm just going to do some quick animations. So the first one is when it's flying through the air to grab the target. So whether it's an architectural element or a small enemy character or something. So as it's flying through the air, basically the hands is going to be wide open. I guess I can tilt up the forearm a little bit. Exaggerate the fingers a little bit more. So this is when the hand's like moving from the character to the ledge. Will be like just an idle animation. So insert. I'm going to insert a key. Frame 1, frame 30. It's going to be looped. So let's go ahead and call this grabbing idle. And I'll save the Blender file by the same name. Grabbing idle. And I'm going to open up the default modes again. This time I'm going to do the ledge grab. So I could do like this for a bunch of different like objects, but this one's just going to be like for a sharp ledge. So this will also be a 30 frame idle animation. And all that's happening here is I'm going to pretend that this y-axis and the z-axis meets to create a ledge. So for this one, I want to keep the pivot point where it is, so right at the edge of the ledge. So I'm going to move the wrist, the forearm all the way down here. That way I can just rotate the fingers. Oops. So I'm going to grab everything. First I'll go into solve mode just to take a quick look. So it looks like it's grabbed onto a ledge. I'm going to bend the thumb because it looks like it's against the surface here, but there's a chance that he's caught the corner of the ledge, so it doesn't make sense if it's flat like that, so I'll just make it like tucked in. Looks pretty good. So keyframe in the first frame and another one in frame 30. And this one will be called Death Grip ledge, grabbed, idle. And save the Blender file. Okay. So with that all done, I think the death grip hand is done. So I'm gonna go into the character. I'll get the arms down file where his fingers are bent and his arms are down. So here, the only thing I guess I really need is I just need one idle animation of him sending out the death grip, kind of like where this character here, he just has a hand out like that. I'll make this 1 second, so 30 frames. So that looks pretty good. I'm going to keyframe everything, first and last frames, and I'll just make a note that his hand is roughly 3/4 up. I just need to make a note of that so I know where to put the bigger death grip hand. It's going to start here at this point, so 3/4 up and 1 unit in front of him, and it's going to go. Just going to shoot out to wherever the ledge is. So I just need to go and export this. Select all the geometry, the armature. This one is death grip. Shoot. I'll call it idle. And I'm going to make sure they're saved by the same name. Okay, I need to move all these files over. So for the default pose, for the death grip, I'll put this in the models folder in the Unity file. But in the animations folder, I'll put the death grip idle animations, as well as the main character's death grip shoot. And I can't forget the texture for the death grip. So death grip color. Okay, so I've opened up my Unity project. As soon as I opened it up, I went into the package manager, so window, where is it? Yeah, package manager, and then I installed the shader graph, because I want to first deal with the shader. But first, I need to go into my prefabs folder and open up the main character, because I want to do everything inside the prefab. So I'm going to go ahead and grab the model and place it right here. So obviously, as you can see, whoops, doesn't look very good. Be right in the middle of him, and it's roughly 1 unit in front of him, and about 3/4 of the way up of his height. So I'll just roughly place him there for now. But the first thing that I want to do is, usually when I create materials, I just go right click and I create material. I'll select this here. But today I want to do something in the graph. That's why I installed the shader graph. So I'm going to go to shader graph, built-in unlit shader graph. I'm going to name it death grip shader. And by the way, this is from another tutorial by someone by the name of Brandon Gurman. That's his channel name. So I'm just going to double click to open this up. Okay, so this is actually my first time doing working with a shader graph in Unity. So basically, what I want to do is I want to right click and create node for our Fresnel effect. And I'm going to plug it into base color. I'm going to go back into scene. I want to right click on this, and I'm going to create a material out of it. So this will be I'm just going to name it death grip shader matte, and drag and drop this here, apply. Right now, maybe the power is too high, I'm not sure. Save asset. Higher number, I'll try 2. Save asset again. Okay, there we go. So you can see the Fresnel, he calls it Fresnel. Like, I'm not sure if that's the right pronunciation. I'm just gonna call it Fresnel. But that's what it looks like, but I'm gonna obviously tweak it so that it has some of the green color that I was originally intending. Okay, I'm gonna create a node. I don't know what all these all the names are. Texture. Basic color. So if I multiply, if I multiply the Fresnel, then multiply the Fresnel by the color, then I can plug that in. But I also want to fill that space in between. I don't know what the node is for an image. Artistic. Oh, input basic. Texture. Sample texture 2D. Could this be it? Okay, I think this is it. Death grip color. And I think all he did was he added the Fresnel to the color. And plug this in. Save asset. And okay, the Fresnel and the color is too similar, so I'll just make this color maybe darker, maybe more of a bluish. Actually, I'll make it lighter. Get a lighter color. a actually I need the fade. So alpha if I multiply this, oops, by the alpha, I'm gonna plug this in, save assets. Doesn't do anything. Turns out all I need to do is I need to select this. I need to go into graph settings here and then change the surface type to transparent, and that creates this alpha input. And all I'm doing is grading the I'm grabbing the from the skin texture that I created in my photo editing program. It has the alpha information on it, so I'm just going to grab the alpha, which is this A, and I'm going to drag that into the alpha, save asset, and then I'm going to go into scene, and now it's got a nice fade there. So the only thing I want to do now is maybe add some emissive to like the yellow. I'm not going to add emissive to the entire thing, just the edges. For the emission, I just need to go to unlit, material unlit, and change it to lit. And that gives me all these inputs. So all I have to do is I'm going to move all this over so I have more space. I'm going to multiply. I'm going to multiply this Fresnel. With this multiplication node, it gives me, I guess it's a vector, so I need to pull out a bit and create a float. And I want to plug that into this add node. Oh no, actually I don't need to do that. This stays as it is. This multiplication, I'm going to multiply it, let's just say by 10. And then I'm going to, actually that's a little bit too bright, maybe 5. And I'll plug this into emission. So I save asset. So this is the whole thing. I've got one going into, let me roll this over. This add node going into the base color, one going into alpha, and one going into emission. So if I go into scene, it's got a nice, I guess like a brightness to like the yellow edges to the Fresnel. It doesn't have like that shine around it. I'm not sure if it will appear in the actual game. I'm not sure, but it looks fine for now. I'm just gonna leave it as it is. Let's give everything a quick save. This video is getting really long, so I'm going to make it a two-part series. So this is going to be part one. I'm going to cut it off here. So please stay tuned for the next video, because I'm going to show how to implement all the code to make this functional in Unity. Okay, so thanks for watching, and please stay tuned for the next video.